Hey guys, thanks for joining in on another live stream tonight. Glad to have everyone here. Greatly appreciate everyone checking in today on Thursday. Seems to be the kind of good day for all of us. Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST to do a live and hang out with you guys, answer questions, and go over whatever topics we went to for the week. So, uh, we are doing a giveaway, of course, like we do every live stream. All you have to do is comment Folks on whatever platform you're watching, and you'll get entered in a giveaway we'll have for a drawing at the end. Probably going to go till about 8:30, 8:45, depending on questions and everything. Today's winner is going to get a free hat. They're going to get a selection of the different hats we have. Uh, and they're also going to get a free t-shirt. So if you're if you win the giveaway, you do have to be here at the end to tell us what color hat you want and what color and size shirt you want. We'll give you a couple minutes. If we don't hear back from you, we'll pick another winner. But I'll kind of go over these hats. They're newer. Just got them made. Made them actually myself, like everything else. I'm doing all my shirts, all my hats, and everything. So go over these. I'll show you them on the website and everything, just so you guys get a better idea. Hey, if you win, you're gonna get one of these and a t-shirt to match. So try to do it pretty simple colors. I like the clean, grayscale, black, white, gray. With our logo, I think it just makes it pop. So this one's kind of gray with black mesh. We got our logo. These are all trucker style hats. That just seems to be the general consensus of everyone's favorite hat. I've done, flat brims. I've done baseball caps, but truckers just all around. So there's all the gray with black. Have the all white, really clean looking hat, but me, if I wore this for 2 days, it would be soaked in sweat and everything. So maybe it'll be my inside, show hat or whatever. But really like the looks of the all white. It's super clean looking. Then you have the black with gray, kind of one I always go to just because it, looks good. It's plain, but it's got the logo on there. Got black with the white, just a little bit different. Looks cool. And then we got gray on gray. So that's the hats. The shirt's too hard to hold to the camera, so hopefully I won't screw up anything here and switch over to show you guys my screen, and we can go on the websites. And I see Xavier commented pink on my next apparel order, who I get my shirts and hats blanks from. I'll message you. I'll let you know when I'm gonna do it, and I'll get you some pink stuff for you. So I don't know how great it's gonna sell outside of a select few, but we'll definitely hook you up, Xavier, with some pink FCC gear. Okay, we'll show you the website now on the shirt selection you're gonna get to choose from. So these are the Folks Custom Cranks t-shirt. That's my beautiful wife, Monica. So thank you for being our model for these. You get to pick between white. You get to pick between, let's see, I called this one charcoal. It's like a dark gray. Of course, you can see I was painting. Like always, I'm always covered in paint. This color I really like. It's called military gray, Heather military gray green. It's like a grayish green. I think it looks pretty cool with the logo and everything on it. Standard black. Logo looks good on black. It pops. And then ash. So there we go. So those are the different colors you can pick from. We do have large through 3X. So, whoever wins, hopefully we'll be able to get you taken care of. Pick whatever color shirt you want, whatever color hat you want. And again, it's a free entry for the giveaway. All you have to do is comment Folks, whatever platform you're on. We have raffle getting put in over to the side here off camera. So, and I will note, if you guys are ever on the website looking out at the, at our website, you can get a shirt and hat actually for less than $25. They're $12.29 each. So, good little deal, little combo deal. If you ever want a shirt or a hat, it's not going to cost you an arm and leg. I'm not selling hats for $25 or so, like a lot of companies are, trying to keep it more in everyone's price range, like I try to do with my baits. And my whole business model is always just sell stuff for what I would pay for it. So wouldn't always hook you guys up with that. So covered the giveaway. If anyone has any questions throughout this video, please comment. I'm always here to help. Kind of what I plan on talking about today for this video is we just got back from Lake Erie. We went smallmouth fishing up there. It's kind of our home waters besides our small lakes around Pittsburgh that we fish, but definitely the best lake in all of PA to fish, in our opinion, is Lake Erie. And then also we'll give you guys some COVID critter updates. Went out for a couple hours earlier today. Got a good little story to go with that. Doing some field testing. Learning the bait myself because I'm new to this bait, throwing it this year, like a lot of you guys are. So I'm seeing what's being done on Bassmaster by the pros, and then applying it kind of to how I fish, and we'll share more details on that. So let's talk about Lake Erie. We came back. We fished up there from Thursday to Sunday. Appreciate you guys giving me a little break. It was nice to get up there and cool off, not paint like a madman every day and not ship orders, which I still got to ship orders from the COVID critter drop last night. I had over 150 packages, 150 orders. So can't thank you guys enough. I am a one-man operation, so shipping that many orders and everything does take me a little bit longer than Amazon, but all of everyone who's ordered was the drop on Wednesday. The baits will be in the mail tomorrow. So it just let us go fishing for a few hours today. I got 50 of them in the mail today and yesterday. So I'm going to get the rest dropped off for you guys. And thank you for that. So Erie, get back to Erie. We had a lot of fun. Actually got in some rare fish on our day up there, on our travel day. We actually went night fishing. There's always rumored, I've never done it myself till this week, of this night bite for walleye. Guys will go out to like mouths of creeks and stuff, and I'm sure it's all over Lake Erie, but in like PA waters where we fish, it's like Walnut Creek, Trout Run. Guys always talk about you go out wait at night and throw for like walleye. Everyone assumes walleye bite best during the night, which they definitely do, but we catch a lot during the day. Uh, so we went to Walnut Creek. Didn't have any luck with any walleye fishing during that night time, but did find some brown trout, which is really cool. Brown trout are a lot rarer than steelhead in Erie. If any of you guys follow, like a steelhead brown trout deal. Brown trout I prefer over steelhead. Steelhead fight like no other, but brown trout are just cool looking, and to me they're the smallmouth of the trout world. So I like their colors. I like everything about the brown trout. They're a little bit easier to land, so that was really cool. Got to catch a couple of those, which was not expected. That's a really rare fish in Erie, just because they're not stocked near as much as the steelhead are, and the ones we caught were actually like ran up the creek to spawn because of the rain and stuff, the cold rain we had. Then we smallmouth fished, did a little bit of walleye fishing throughout the weekend as well. Erie, most days how it works is you get a morning bite, you get an evening bite. Then during the day, it kind of slicks out. Fishing gets a little tough. With our scenario this week was, of course, we were a little late to the party. We love fishing pre-spawn, throwing a jerk bait, throwing a swim bait, just looking for them big females. And Presque Bay, it's full-blown spawn. You can still catch a lot of fish that are pre-spawn and post-spawn on moving baits, but with it being so close to a holiday weekend, we've tried to stay outside of Presque Bay, away from the crowd, try to do our own thing. So mornings and evenings we would smallmouth fish, but when in middle of the day when it slicked down, we had two options. It was either go bed fishing, which there's nothing wrong with it. It is fun to do, but there's just a lot of people doing it, and you're kind of just going around catching the same fish everyone else is catching. Uh, or you can go out. Walleye season's open. If you guys have seen some of our videos, Erie is a phenomenal walleye fishery. It's actually more known for walleye than it is bass. And walleye is just so plentiful. And we loaded the freezer up. You're allowed 6 man a day, so we got on a really good walleye bite. I think our smallest one that we kept was like 18 or 19 inches, and the biggest one we kept was 28 inches. So got some meat in the freezer. If anyone knows me, I don't like fish. I hate the taste of fish. So that's my Christmas gifts. That's my gift to my post office lady when I drop off 500 COVID critter packages tomorrow that are going to stink up her post office. So that's just my brownie points, if you will, is just giving bags of walleye fillets to people I like, friends of mine or whatever. So that's how I bargain my way around. Uh, Caught a lot of smallmouth. Biggest one of the trip we caught the last day, which was Sunday. It was that 6 pounder right on the dot. Uh, really didn't catch a lot of other big fish just because there's so many fish that are post spawn. A lot of the fish we caught, we kind of have rule. If it's not 5, we usually don't weigh it just because me and my dad have caught so many five mouth or 4.5s that they're just, I only want to take a picture with a 5 pounder and weigh a 5 pounder, 5 pound plus. But there's no offense if you're taking pictures or weighing 2 to 3 pounders on Erie. No, that's I've caught enough of those. I like the 5 plusers. So we caught a lot of 4.5s that were pretty skinny. They would have been that 5.5 range. So it was unfortunate that we weren't able to get there a couple weeks before to find those true giants. But did get on a little bite there towards the end. Found just a group of pre-spawners, and we had to work them. Found that school the first day in the lake and caught fish out of it, but saw on like live scope and stuff that there was a lot bigger fish down there with them, and just couldn't get them to bite that day. When we went back and we caught a couple of them, so that was really cool. We just had to get fancy with it. We were tying on a bait every 5 minutes just to try, because you're sitting on a school, it's just like Kentucky lake fishing back in the day or whatever. You're sitting on a school of fish, they're down there, you're looking at them, they're looking this far away from your bait, but they're just not eating. So you just kind of start going through the gambit, start tying on stuff. Eventually, what was most consistent for us was just a little 2.5 inch Kitech. That's kind of what I revert to whenever the bite gets super tough like that. When I see the fish are just following, they're not really actively chasing your bait, or they're not striking at your bait, they're just sitting there being lazy. I did catch a couple on like a Ned rig. Caught a couple Ned rigging actually the COVID critter on the bottom with a 1/4 ounce weight. It looks really good doing that. Quarter and 3/8 ounce weight Ned rigging it, but still that swim bait, just barely reeling it with that little 2 inch swim bait seemed to be the ticket. Much would have rather have caught them on a jerk bait or something more power fishing, because that's how I like to fish. I don't like to drag or fish slow. If I don't have to, I always want to be throwing something with treble hooks on it. But we made it happen. It was fun. We stayed away from the crowd in the bay. It's going to be really crowded this weekend. Fish are going to be caught everywhere in the bay. Fish are spawning everywhere. So if it's going to be sunny and slick, them fish are going to get beat up this weekend. But we won't be there for the festivities. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. On the first day too, you guys saw the video. When the wind was blowing in the morning, I got on each day. Actually, you could get it on a good crankbait bite. We were fishing up like 6 to 12 foot of water, fishing around boulders, just your normal Erie stuff. And they wouldn't really touch it when it slicked down, just because the wind laid down and it got hot and sunny, and then I think they would move up to spawn. But in the mornings and the evenings, I got on a really fun wiggle wart bite on that small jaw crawl. So I do plan on painting more of those when I get back in the workshop tonight. Had a few days off dealing with the COVID critters and everything for you guys, so that was really fun. I did a dozen last week when I posted them for sale, and they sold out really quick. So I'm going to do another batch of the small jaw crawl on both. I think they sold out on rock crawlers, so if you're looking for it on a rock crawler, I'll be doing some of those, as well as on some pre-Rapala wiggle warts. And speaking of that, I do think we still have some orange tail crawl left on pre-Rapala warts. And rock crawlers, not a whole lot. It looks like the pile over there is it's getting there. It's low, but then again, I do have to ship probably 100 some packages still, so those might already be sold. I don't want to say I have them, but keep on the lookout for those. If you saw earlier as well, I painted a batch of true megabass, not a knockoff bait like my 110 that I have or any other one. It's a true megabass. I have to sandblast them down and then paint it. So if you saw on that post, I painted up every year. I do it. I sandblast because it's a pain. True megabass 110s and paint them in morning dawn. Guys really seem to like them, just because if you were to ever buy a true morning dawn megabass 110 from 15 years ago, if it's still in the box, you're going to pay 1,000 or 2,000 some dollars. It's ridiculous how much those sell for. So if you want to fish a true megabass in the morning dawn color, that's kind of where I hope to at least solve that issue, give you guys the opportunity to be able to do that. Or what a lot of guys do, will just buy it as a placeholder for the collection, just because who's got that much money just to spend on one piece of plastic jerk bait. So anything else I painted coming down the line I can think of? Nothing nothing crazy like drop wise coming down the line crankbait wise yet. Like I said, I'm gonna be painting the small jaw warts, and I'll probably do another color or two on some pre-rapala warts and the rock crawlers. If you guys have any suggestions of colors you'd like to see, that would be a great time. Like, hey, can you do me some rock crawlers, or can you do me a wiggle wart? Would love to see it in whatever color. I'll be painting tonight, so if we can work it in with an order, if it's a color I'm doing for a repaint order for another customer, I can definitely do a run of it for you. So any of my colors that you see that aren't in stock on rock crawlers or warts, we can make her happen. So uh other than that, we covered Erie, Oh, the trout, yeah. So the brown trout, the reason everyone talks about you go throw a floating Rapala for these walleye. Uh I don't own a floating Rapala, that's a old school bait. I own a lot of jerk baits. My dad actually caught one on one of my jerk baits. We caught five brown trout. He caught one on a jerk bait. I caught the four on a baby one minus of all baits. Uh the reason they throw the floating Rapalas is they always say you want to fish the top water column. It's kind of a top water bite. So they're like everyone just says go wake a floating Rapala. So I took a baby one minus. I'm like that's close enough to a wake bait, and I caught four brown trout on a pink baby one minus. It's not a color I offer to sell. Not yet, at least. I just not a lot of people like a pink crankbait, but for me, I have a lot of confidence in a pink baby one minus. This time of year, anytime the water's 60, I always have a pink baby one tied on, just because I love throwing a pink fluke, a pink COVID critter, a pink floating worm, pink Cinco. Just pink's a confidence color of mine. Anytime pre, post, spawn, just spawn in general, I always have something pink tied on. So coincidentally enough, a pink baby one minus caught a brown trout. Probably the first time in a while that's happened. So that was cool, and thank you for reminding me. Looks like Justin says, "Do you paint any translucent paint schemes on the rock crawlers?" Definitely can. They just, like I can do like phantom green, a phantom brown. Comment what you have in mind. I can definitely do it for you. Just phantom green and phantom brown for me don't sell that great, so when I paint them, I have to, I can paint one at a time, but when I paint to sell, I'd like to try to do at least 5 or 10, and sometimes they don't all sell. So, but if you have any suggestions, by all means. We're kind of finally fizzling out. Painting's just about caught up. All of my orders I've done for like bigger companies that I can't really talk about. We've completed those, so my core gigs or whatever that kind of set me behind on the other ends of stuff, which it's part of doing business. You have to do everyone, take care of everyone at the same time and juggle a lot of things. But we appreciate everyone working with us, giving us patience, getting the repaints back and everything, and kind of getting back into the groove of things here from now till we leave for shows. So just, yeah, let's see. We have another comment. Have you ever done a version of Bandit root beer? I have. Everyone has their own root beer take. Chartreuse root beer, just your standard root beer with an orange throat. Pretty simple. Usually do like the green glitter on it, and then the root beer. At least how I paint it. Little painting secret tip here, and I'm colorblind, so who knows if this can be completely wrong for all I know, but how I paint root beer, to me, root beer, when I think of root beer, is brown. But when I paint a root beer crankbait, it's actually green paint with brown splatter over it. So to me, that looks identical to how Bandit does it. But back before I had someone helping me, being like, "Oh, this is not how you like did it." When I did a root beer crankbait, I had a paint called root beer, when it was brown, but everyone was like, "Yeah, that ain't root beer." So funny, colorblind story there for you. Oh, sorry, Larry. The Megabass 110s, because they are a true Megabass 110, I do sell them for $35. They retail for 25. But I'll do them like I do a two for sale. They'll be like two for 60. So it helps you guys out a little bit. I'm not making a killing on them, especially because I have to sandblast them because Megabass does cost 25 bucks. But they'll be 35 each or two for 60. So I think I did 15 or 16 this time around when I sandblasted. If they sell out quick, I'll definitely go through and sandblast and paint some more. So Before we move on to the COVID critter restock stuff, I just want to bring up the giveaway again. Just if you're just now joining in on the stream, we are doing a giveaway like we always do. You have to just comment Fulks. The winner has to stick around to the end because the winner is going to get their pick between one of the 5 hats that we have and one of the Folks Custom Cranks t-shirts that we have. So all you have to do is comment Folks. You'll be entered to win the giveaway. We'll do the giveaway here 8:30, 8:45. We're not gonna, spend too much time tonight taking up everyone's time and everything. Make sure we don't have any other comments before we talk about the critters. Looks like no problem, Justin. Whenever, if you ever need stuff painted, just let me know. And you said, yeah, you got a translucent crawl pattern crawler. It's been getting bites. That's good to hear. Yeah, sounds good with me. Just let me know when you need them, and we'll get you taken care of. So, okay, yeah. So, let's get into talking about the COVID critter now. Before we get into how I fished him today, we'll talk to you about how we fished him up in Erie. On Erie, caught him a bunch of different ways. Xavier just commented critter on a Ned rig. 100% caught fish like that on Erie this week. I was using anywhere between a quarter and a 3/8 ounce. Just because it's not something you don't want it just sink right straight to the bottom. You do get some bites on the fall, which we'll talk about with this rig right here. But you get some bites on the fall with all those, tentacles undulating like that. And then you just, popping it like you would. Caught him like that. Caught him on a drop shot, just dragging it around, ticking them off, that kind of deal as well. And then we also caught him with like the treble hook, fishing it, popping live scope style. Or my dad actually, he doesn't have live scope on the back. He did catch some just blind fishing, the koiki style with a fishing it like a jerk bait, just pop pop. The same way guys fish them on live scope, the same way I was fishing it on live scope, but just blindly casting around like a jerk bait. He was throwing an 1/8 ounce weight, so it was only getting down like 5 to 6 foot, which is perfect for, we were fishing over 7 to 8 foot of water, so it was perfect for that. Xavier asked what size on the Ned. It was a 3/0. Yeah, I was using really like the VMC, the red line, the newer ones. I wasn't a big fan of VMC till they came out with the red line, but the coated hooks, in that red line series are really, really sharp. They're up there with all the other, hook brands that you could recommend. So really like that. But you want a little bit bigger, gap on it because that does have there's just a lot of stuff going on this when you put it on a Ned rig. I actually have some of those Ned hooks in there from that. Chris says he's been killing them on the COVID critter. Love to hear that. Send in some pictures if you'd like to. We'll post them up. Trying to do that. You guys support me, so I want to support you. If you ever want to share stuff with me, and we'll share it on the page, gets you some followers, get you some likes, whatever. We'll get you hooked up. So thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. Then we'll kind of get into more of the COVID critter update now. Hoping, we had that big restock on Wednesday. Still not like my main shipment. I finally have a delivery time for my main shipment. Looks like next Wednesday, we are gonna have in the first run of my main shipment of COVID critters. I'll have over 500 or so green pumpkin, like green pumpkin shark, green pumpkin orange, green pumpkin blue, green pumpkin purple, green pumpkin red, all the green pumpkin and whatever combos with standard green pumpkin too. You can get a standard green pumpkin or you can get the blue with the orange. Heck, we might even do a green pumpkin candy if you want to. So we'll have all those options. We'll have like the Scuppernong. We'll have the Pro Blue. We'll have a new color coming that's Sexy Shad. So we'll have a lot of more variety as well. A lot more of the custom colors, the stuff that's just different than all the other offering. So that'll be all next Wednesday. As long as that's according to FedEx. So I'm not pre-selling any of them just because I don't want to take orders and then they get lost in the mail. I don't that would be a horrible situation for everyone. So Wednesday, big restock, and then throughout this weekend I didn't get any in today. But I should be having smaller restocks through the weekend. So, if you're really wanting to get some of these, uh, and I understand the drops and everything kind of makes it hard for some people. It's just the fairest way I can think of doing it. Next Wednesday, we shouldn't have any issue with fighting over baits or anything. There should be enough available that everyone can get their hands on them, which is what I want to do. I don't want to make it so a bait's impossible to get. Uh, that's not a smart business call. I want to make sure everyone who wants this bait can get one. So hopefully that problem will be solved Wednesday. And thank you guys for just like every other company's baits. When baits like that win tournaments, it was crazy with the demand and everything. So we're all trying to keep up. And thank you for everyone's support. Uh, so today, how I went out and fished. Our small lake that we have by our house, which I'll bring up the funny story why we got back early as well. Um, like many of you guys, I watched the Bassmaster event on Santee, and I knew you can catch fish like this, not scoping obviously, because when I do my Twitch method, you're sight fishing it. But I knew you could catch fish on this, fishing it like a Cinco, fishing like flipping around like a beaver or a jig. So what I just studied how they were fishing it, just watching all the lives and clips and everything. And kind of just took what they were, took what how they were fishing it, and applied to my own. So same rig as the weightless rig. I'm still using the the critter getter treble hook, which I another story on that here in a second. Still using that same type of rig, but I was putting you can see it sticking out of it, and it's ugly, but it definitely caught fish today. A nail weight in it. This right here, this is the 19 millimeter COVID critter. Do have a 25 millimeter on the way. But the 19 millimeter, what I found, if you want this to have the same rate of fall as a Cinco, which to me is like the magic rate of fall with this thing quivering down like that, with 20-pound fluorocarbon, I was throwing this on my straight up flipping setup, bait caster and all, just tied straight to the hook. I was using a 3/32 ounce Nico hook, or Nico weight, and I'll rig one up for you guys. You can see this one was literally the one I was throwing today. It's still got tag end on it. So I rigged it like that, and I was like, I'm just sticking this in my hand today. I'm gonna try to figure out to get bit with it, and easy enough. You just go and flip it like a beaver. You go flip it like a Cinco. You just cast it. We were fishing grass, and you'd think with the treble hook that you would get hung up in grass. I really never. We were fishing clean grass. It wasn't like a big bowl where I was blind fishing. You're fishing just grass stalks, whatever. You're just see a grass patch, you flip over to the edge of it like you would. That's how we fish. We weren't punching or nothing. Just flip over to the grass edge and just sit there and just let this thing just super slow fall, and then like a Cinco or any other flipping bait, you get the feel of it. You see your line just falling, and then stop. Nothing. You let it sit there. You do however you fish a Cinco, you fish a beaver. That's same retrieve. When I flip, I flip over. Bait hits the bottom. Give it one pop. Let it sit. Give it another pop. Let it sit. Now I reel in because I hardly ever get bit after that second pop. And at that point, you're kind of pulling away from the grass or whatever cover you're fishing. So that's what I did. I just went over, flipped grass all day, flipped grass edges, and I caught almost caught some really big fish. It was one of those days. So originally, when I started today, I used a Nico hook, a single Nico hook. My thinking was uh, it was a Rapala Nico hook, the VMC one, with the fluorocarbon on it. What I want to call it, the weedless. It was a weedless Nico hook. So I was like, okay, we're gonna be going flipping grass. Let me put the single Nico hook on it and flip it around. And I caught some dinks. I caught some little fish. And then we got in a certain area that there's just some really big fish pulled up into. And I flip over to one piece of grass. This bait's about halfway down. Like all the other bites felt like normal, just flipping bites where you just feel like the tap. But I mean, I flip over this piece of grass and I'm like, oh boy. I set the hook, sucker jumps. It was at least 5 pounds. It's hard to tell this time of year that they're post spawn. It had the head of a six, but from the 1 second I saw it, it was a pretty paper thin belly, being so fresh post spawn. But unfortunately, it got off. So after that, I was like, you know what? We're not really fishing super heavy cover. I did have one or two like come off right at the boat on the single Nico hook. I just wasn't sure what the issue was, so I switched over to the treble hook. I was like, I we're fishing around not super thick grass, and really, like I said, fishing the treble hook around grass wasn't really an issue. Once I switched over to the treble hook, I never lost another fish. Never got another big bite. I caught a three, and a bunch of dinks. Your 12 to 15 inch fish, but never got another 5+ bites. Would have liked to. As we were fishing around, working our way around the lake, ran out of gas in the boat. It's a limited horsepower lake, and it's a 9.9 motor, so how often do you actually have to put gas in a 9.9 motor? Rarely ever. It's like a 6 gallon tank. Never check it. The lake's what, like 300 acres, so like you can get around on your trolling motor fine. So we're running down the lake. There goes the gas. We're like, okay, we don't have gas. We can just fish on the troll motor. Uh, at that point, I already lost that five, and we were just going down to another stretch. That's where I caught the three. We're fishing down that stretch, and then the breaker, or whatever it is on the I have an Ultrex, the trolling motor breaker just broke on me. So we were dead on the water. Had no gas in the boat. No trolling motor didn't work, and the wind was blowing us complete opposite side of where the launch was. So didn't have an oar. Pretty much we were the only boat on the lake too, so I was like, I guess I'm gonna just have to get out and swim and push. It's a John boat, so it would have worked. But before I reverted to that, I looked at underneath one of our compartments there, and I found just some two-stroke oil. I dumped that in the gas tank. I tilted the gas tank up to where it would just slurp just what little was left in there, and we got her back to the launch, and didn't have enough gas to put it on the trailer. We got enough gas to the boat launch, but it was fun launching. So it was just a lot of things going against this. You know how they say some days you're the windshield and some days you're the fly, or whatever that saying is. Well, today we were definitely the fly. Just everything that could go wrong went wrong. I had that 5 some pounder shake off, ran out of gas in the boat, trolling motor broke. So at that point, it was just like, yeah, just call her quits. Let's just get off the water. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had stories like that. And my dad, I can only tell you, my dad has so many stories like that. My grandfather, uh, he's the king of, just lose a big fish, then your axle blows, your motor blows, like just every fisherman has that type of day, and what today was that day. So I was happy it was just a gas and a breaker. Nothing actually broke on the boat. It's a $15 part and a fill up at the gas station, and we're good to go next time. But it's a funny story that we were planning on fishing a little bit longer today. We were only out there for like 3 hours to all that happened. So I'll go ahead and was there a banana in the boat? There was not, but it definitely felt like it. There was I don't know what the deal was. There was a chartreuse COVID critter in the boat. Maybe that's what did it, but we were catching fish on that, twitching it. Okay. Let's see. Before I go over the rigging, I'll answer your guys' questions here. You don't need to drop shot them to fish them. You definitely don't. You can fish them, like I said, with this Nico, modified Nico, which I'll show you guys how to fit, how to rig it. Fishing it like a beaver, fishing it like a weightless Senko. Wild Ohio with Ray asks where we located. We're located in Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, kind of in between Pittsburgh and Steubenville, Ohio. So the Steubenville, Ohio pool on the Ohio River is not far from us, but we go to Erie because when your average smallmouth's 3.5 pounds on Erie, it's hard fishing the river anymore. So we are spoiled with Erie. Joey asks about a DT6. He would love to see a DT6 in the old bandit color chartreuse with brown splatterback. Send a picture to me and I'll see if we can match it. I do have a couple hundred DT6s I finally got in to paint from Rapala. I haven't prepped them or anything yet just because I've been so behind with, my corporate orders, with your guys' repaint orders. But we can definitely make that happen now that things are kind of leveling out and we're getting back into the normal season here and not running 150 miles an hour everywhere. Okay, I think that's all the comments for now. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to rig one of these. So we're just taking the old COVID. Well, let me get my junk out of here. So COVID critter, box it comes in. Take it right off the wire. This is the green pumpkin, looks like orange color. Uh, just straight out of the pack, reeking of garlic. Like I said, I found the best weight for these to get them to sink, kind of that slow rate of fall. I'm sure you can catch fish on it, sinking it faster on an eighth or, a quarter head. But to me, how it seemed at Santee Cooper that they were fishing it and, how Johnson won it was uh, just letting it, fishing it like a Cinco, just casting it, letting it fall, popping it, twitching it, let it fall. Just real natural, real, just real, but however you want to call it, just real finesse, but not finesse. So that's what I did today, and it definitely worked for me. Never turned on my unit. It's not something you need to live scope. If you're fishing it this way, of course, you definitely can fish it live scoping it this way. But today, like I said earlier, we just went flipping grass. We just see a tree, flip to a tree, just good old fashioned fishing. So, there's your COVID critter. This is, like I said, the 332nd. This is just lead. I'm too cheap to buy tungsten ones, but by all means, you can use a tungsten one if you want to. The lead will stick out the side a little bit, like you see on this, but honestly, I the fish today didn't seem to bother them, like with that silver bit on it. If you ever get around super pressured fish, maybe that might be an issue. You can, use one of the coated ones or the tungsten ones that are dark, but for now, I don't see any issue with this sticking out the sides a little bit. So the easiest way, because this is that TPE material, if anyone's ever put like a rigged anything Z-Man, uh, it's really hard to get like a weight in or anything. So I'll show you guys how to do it here. We don't have a hole in ours. There's just a marking for the hole. I get them made solid. I don't want them to have, that hollow hole because actually it's easier to lose these. So try to show you guys. There's your hole. Wet it a little bit and stick her in. You'll hear it kind of crack. And it's somewhat in now. We got one of the prongs in. And what you want to do is just push it all the way through. It's hard to do on camera, guys. I'm sorry. You gotta try to pierce it all the way through. There it was. You heard it crack through. So now that sucker's in there. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Try to get it symmetrical enough in there. And you got, your one prong sticking out the end. You got your head sticking out the end. But that weight's never coming out of there. You don't need to super glue it or nothing. Fish never threw it today. That's my preferred weight for the 19 millimeter. Now, when we get the 25 millimeter in, I think how they were fishing it, they were using an 1/8 ounce Nico weight. So you might have to up it. I think the main thing here is matching your weight to the size of the bait to get it to do that real slow Cinco fall. And then, once you get that in there, all you got to do is find you the old critter hook or whatever hook you want. I'll definitely be trying the single weedless Nico hook again. I'm not writing it off or anything, but all my confidence is just in the treble hook right now, especially with me not getting hung up or snagged on anything. And then just take your treble hook. On this, it doesn't matter the orientation because we're not using a split ring. No matter how you rig this, you're always going to have the two hooks up and the one hook down into the bait. And actually today, what I started doing, instead of burying the treble hook, that bottom hook into the bait, you can not skin hook it, but you can do like a quarter of the way through. And then that way it does open up that prong for you. You have 3 prongs open to catch a fish. Personally, I'm fine just with those 2 on top. I did hook one with the bottom prong in it, but it also had one of the other trebles in it. So it didn't add to any bites, but, over the long run, it definitely might add to landing 1 or 2 more if you do it this way. So you just want to take your bait here and say we're going to do like a quarter of the way through the bait. Not a skin hook because we don't want it to come off because these things are harder than hen's teeth to get, but not pierced all the way through. So that way you still got that gap. You got 3 hooks out, but these two hooks are your fish catching hooks. That one bottom hook is just your saver, if needed. If that's the last one, at least you have it. But uh, you better hook them on those top two hooks. So that's how I did it today. Like I said, I tied straight 20-pound fluorocarb into this 7'3" heavy pole. Just flipped all day. Just cast, let it sit, pop it, reel her back in. Next piece of grass, cast, sit, pop it, and yeah, that's how I got bit today. Never turned the unit on. Turned it on once to check the water temperature. It was 68. That's all I needed to know for that grass flipping bite. Uh, knowing the fish are post spawn, I never even looked shallow. We just fish grass all day, fishing this rig. So that hopefully that helps you guys. With that, like I said, I'm still learning how to fish this bait, and coming this summer, we might see some more summer tournaments one on this bait rig completely different. That's the cool thing about a new bait. Everyone's kind of learning it. Everyone's figuring out what the best way of fishing it, and it's definitely something that fish haven't seen. For sure, that got proved on our home little lake here. This place just gets beat, and the amount of big fish that we've seen, the one I had come off today, it's added a lot more bigger fish to our mix than normal years. I don't know if it's solely because of this bait or if it's just a really good year for us, but having a new bait, something that they don't see all the time when you're getting a lot of big fish on, a new bait that they like this, that they haven't seen a lot, that has a big bait presence with all those tentacles undulating. Something tells me there's something to it. I mean, look at how many tournaments you're getting one on it. I think it's going to be a staple. It's not going to fade away. It's not going to go away. At least it doesn't seem like that. So going to be a hot bite for a while. As long as it keeps winning tournaments, it's still going to be plenty popular. It's proven itself to me at this point to where now I have confidence in this bait to go out and throw it in multitude different ways. I like twitching it right under the surface, but now I know I can go flip this thing as well. So we'll cover some comments here, and we'll go ahead and draw for our giveaway. BJ is asking on the package. Sorry about the delay getting that to you, BJ. I've just been so slammed with orders. I will get that decal sent out to you. Just I get slammed with orders. I printed 100 some shipping labels. So if it's not like a paid order on my website, sometimes it just slips my mind that I need to buy another shipping label and enter your info on it. So I do apologize for the delay getting that decal to you, buddy. Just bear with me. Sorry. If you look behind me, there's over that way, there's a disaster of boxes. So I'm going to get through those. I got to ship, 70 some packages tonight, and we're getting there. We're catching up. So Larry asks, can you put one hook under the weight to help save the bait? Can you put one hook under the weight? So you're asking about maybe going around the weight, like hooking around the weight? You definitely could. You would lose that prong going that deep into the bait, but it would help everything stay tight, stay all together. So that's definitely an option. Play around with it. That's just time on the water. A lot of these things you can ask a lot of pros too. They don't know just because new bait. You just time on the water. Figuring out the best way. Like that. That's how I just talked about having that just extra prong there on the the bottom instead of going through the meat of it. It might get you another fish or two in the boat if for whatever reason those top two hooks don't get them. So not a bad idea. Samantha says she tried the trigger hook. It was pretty good. I'm not sure which hook the trigger hook is, unless that was you're saying the critter hook. But glad to hear whatever hook that is working well for you for this style bait. If you don't mind to share more on that. Xavier asked about the hook set. Typical flipping hook set. You just give him the beans. Actually, still when you twitch it too, you give him the beans. You hit them. And it's not like I'm like frogging them where you're like stepping back and like shaking the whole boat getting to them. But your normal flipping hook set, just you feel the bite, you jam them, and there you go. I never broke off any today, so seemed to work fine. I know you don't want to set the hook light. That's what all the pros say. They say when you feel that thunk, you hit them because that means they got it deep. And every fish that we caught and landed did not have this thing right here. It was down the gullet. if you see in the one video I caught, the 2 to 3 pounder, it was down the gullet. So I think it's on my personal page. It's not on the Fulks Custom Cranks page yet. I'll post that tonight for you guys to see a little flipping action. It wasn't cast to catch. Bite wasn't good enough for me to just go down the bank and film and try to catch one. It was my normal, you get a bite and then you start recording, hoping the flipping bite gets even better to where I can do some cast to catch. But the glasses only have such a long, battery life on them. If you sit there and record, I think they only last like 40 minutes of straight recording. So you just got to give and take trying to capture the content and everything of it. With that being said, I think we will go ahead and pick the winner. If we have any last minute entries, I will show you again what you'll be winning here on the website. We'll switch over to this. The winner is going to get to pick a hat and a free t-shirt from our website. The hats we have, again, we have the white on white. We have the gray with the black. We have the gray with the gray. We have the gray with the white. We have the black with the white. And the black with the gray. T-shirt wise, the winner will get to pick a shirt. They will get to pick their size and color. I have variety, so if you don't see it on my website, I can make it for you. The military green, I really like that color. The dark gray, the charcoal, standard black, the ash, like the light gray, and white. Before we pick, while we have this up, I'll show you guys this part. If you haven't seen already, I have been adding a little bit more merch to our site and everything. So have the hoodies, shirts, hats, all that good stuff. This is more of a plain hoodie here, 2 different colors. We have it in army green, and then we have it in the smoke, which is like a light gray. It's not a white. It's kind of a cool color. And then the other hoodie we have, these have been pretty popular, the camo hoodies. We have these in XL to 3XL. I'll try to get some larges for you guys as well. They fit, how they say. I'm an XL. I always go to a 2XL hoodie. I just like it being bigger. But there's the black camo. You have the wash camo. And then you have the snow camo. So that's that. We will go ahead and when you have a restock on the quickie. So Wednesday for sure. Next Wednesday we will have a lot available, and green pumpkin, all of the green pumpkins, green pumpkin shark, green pumpkin blue, red, orange, purple, all that good stuff. Scuppernong, sexy shad, which will be a new color no one's has yet on a quickie style bait. Have more of the pro blues, been really popular, and a couple other ones as well. So next Wednesday for sure. There might be some smaller drops in between now and then, depending on my other orders I have coming in of them. So definitely next Wednesday, and just kind of stay updated between now and then. We'll post during the day. Hey, we'll be dropping these at usually 8 p.m. Just seems to be kind of an all-around good time for all time zones and everything, to where everyone can get home and everything. So thank you for asking that. Definitely next Wednesday, as long as FedEx does their job. So that being said, we will go ahead and do the giveaway winner. Hopefully the winner's still in here, because we're going to have them pick their shirt and hat color. So give these one more shake. Close my eyes and pick the winner here. Looks like the winner is Bubba Baker. So Bubba, if you are still watching, we're going to give you a minute or two to comment back. As long as you're still in here, being that we are live, we want to make sure we get a winner who's still in with the chat and everything, and that way we can get comment what you'd like, and we'll get your mailing address. So we'll give Bubba a couple minutes. If he's not with us in the chat anymore, we'll go ahead and pick another winner, see if they're here live with us. So we'll go through some comments. Mark's with us. Hi, Mark. Thank you for joining. Mark's a great customer of ours. We're great greatly appreciate his support he's given us. Don't have a whole lot of customer base in Texas. I've never done a fishing expo in Texas. Uh, oh, I did one. I've been to Texas once. Maybe when the classic goes back, we'll be back down your way. Of course, Texas is a big state. I think when we were down there, we were in Fort Worth, and you're still a good many hours away. So you never know. We might be able to try to get down to see you in person at some point. Okay, Bubba. Let's see. Bubba replied on my personal page, so we're good to go. We're gonna get his information. We're gonna get his hat and his shirt size and his preference, and go from there. So, thank you guys for watching this show. If you have any comments, or have any questions after it's all said and done, we feel free to reach out. I'm planning on painting all night tonight, so uh, we're gonna just I'll be available. I'm a night owl anyways. Last question Joey asks: will we have smoke red? Definitely have some smoke red available. Completely forgot about that. Those will be available on Wednesday as well, as long as FedEx does their job. So everyone, keep your fingers crossed that FedEx brings it, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, ever need anything, have any questions about rigging these, have any questions about anything, just always feel free to reach out. And we'll see you guys next week, probably next Thursday at 8 again.